Hello and welcome to this new episode of Pilates Deep Dive. Today, I invite you to explore the richness of an advanced exercise from the Stott Pilates method, the open leg rocker. It's a movement that feels light, almost playful, but it demands technical precision, neuromuscular control, and deep postural awareness. Everything begins in the starting position, sitting upright in balance. And here lies a key subtlety. The lower back, the lumbar spine, is slightly flexed, while the upper back, the thoracic spine, is actively lengthened upward. This dissociation creates a dynamic posture, grounded below, extended above. The pelvis is stabilized just behind the ischial tuberosities. The legs are lifted into a V-shaped abduction. The ankles are in plantar flexion, and the arms gently reach toward the shins or ankles. But this movement cannot exist without the intelligence of the nervous system. Every time you engage your muscles to maintain this balance, a motor signal is sent from your cerebral cortex. If the stimulation is strong enough at the level of the dendrites, an action potential is generated and travels along the axon via the corticospinal tract. On its way down, it passes through the pyramids of the medulla, located at the junction between the brain and spinal cord. These are two small bulges on the front of the brainstem, and it is here that something fascinating happens. Motor messages cross sides. The left brain controls the right side of the body, and the right brain controls the left. It's a true biological crossroads. The message then descends into the spinal cord, reaches the lower motor neuron, and releases acetylcholine at the neuromuscular junction, triggering muscle contraction. Once the message is delivered, acetylcholine is broken down by acetylcholinesterase to reset the system and allow a new cycle to begin. Behind this fluid movement lies a remarkably precise muscular coordination. The transversus abdominis acts like a natural corset, stabilizing the lumbopelvic region. The rectus abdominis and the internal and external obliques initiate trunk flexion and support the C-curve. When the body returns to the upright position, the erector spinae muscles engage, especially the longissimus and spinalis. The longissimus thoracis originates from the transverse processes of the lumbar vertebrae and the thoracolumbar fascia and inserts onto the transverse processes of the thoracic vertebrae and the posterior surfaces of the lower ribs. Its role is to extend the trunk, stabilize posture, and control axial balance. The longissimus cervicis, spanning from T1 to T5 to C2 to C6, allows for extension and lateral flexion of the neck. The longissimus capitis, running from T1 to C4 to the mastoid process, supports head extension and slight rotation. Alongside them, the spinalis thoracis extends from T11 to L2 to T1 to T8, and the spinalis cervicis from C6 to T2 to C2 to C4. These muscles form a central line of spinal extension, slowing the rollback eccentrically and stabilizing the return concentrically, maintaining the vertical axis of the body. Meanwhile, the hip extensors bring the pelvis closer to the femurs to maintain the V shape, and the scapula stabilizes. Rhomboids, lower trapezius, and serratus anterior anchor the shoulder blades. And as with any supine or inverted exercise, the most common mistake is allowing the pelvis to rotate with each knee bend. Maintaining a neutral pelvis requires deep foundational work, multifidus, short and long rotators, deep abdominals, and coordinated engagement of the hip extensors. Breathing guides each phase. Inhale to deepen lumbar flexion and form the C curve. Exhale to return with control and actively lengthen the thoracic spine without losing scapular stability. Several adaptations can make the exercise more accessible while preserving its essential benefits. In the first adaptation, you can bend the knees. This is an excellent way to learn how to maintain balance slightly behind the ischial tuberosities while keeping the lumbar spine flexed and the upper spine elongated. It helps develop center awareness and the ability to organize the back into a stable, breathing posture. In the second adaptation, you can hold your toes, which requires great flexibility in the hamstrings. You need not only to reach your feet, but also to keep your balance and maintain lift through the upper spine. This is a demanding yet highly educational variation for postural coordination. In the third adaptation, you can introduce a fitness circle, which slightly facilitates the movement. It creates a connection between the legs, helping to maintain the V shape without dispersion, while providing light resistance that stimulates pelvic stability. The open leg rocker is more than just an exercise. It's an intelligent dialogue between breath, spine, deep muscles, and the nervous system. It's also a way to learn how to stay centered in motion, to move without tension, and to control without rigidity. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you very soon for another episode of Bio Pilates Deep Dive.